still under federal investigation. In their annual report this year, Planned Parenthood actually noted how they're actually transforming their business model now to offer other services not even related to abortion because they're trying to find a way to make up for the lost revenue. The majority of our 50 states now have started to take action when Washington, D.C. has failed to lead. Our states have passed more than 300 laws in the past 10 years that restrict abortion and protect women. And the most indicative statistic, just look at our annual March for Life, where you'll have 500,000 Americans gathered in Washington, D.C., which is the largest annual social mobilization in the world. 3/4 of that crowd is under 25. History teaches us all the time. And when you look at the history of social movements across the world, when you look at the history of social movements in America, you know when young people come on board, victory is coming. Victory is coming. And that's exactly what we have in America today. Victory is coming. In the 12 years since I launched Students for Life, we've started more than 1,000 pro-life Students for Life groups. We now serve over 1,200 groups on high school and college campuses. We're in all 50 American states. We've trained more than 65,000 young people. Last year alone, we trained 11,000. We started 150 new groups. Planned Parenthood, the billion-dollar abortion industry that's funded with more than $500 million of our taxpayer funds in America. Planned Parenthood actually boasted in their annual report that they started 50 student groups and trained 700 students last year. Imagine what I could do with that $1 billion. And the polls are in our favor. Only 17% of my generation agrees with the Democratic National Committee's platform on abortion. The DNC platform in our country was changed in 2016 to mean abortion whenever, wherever, and taxpayer funded in all 9 months of pregnancy. Only 17% of my generation agrees with that. In one poll that we conducted internally, 53% of millennials, of 18 to 24-year-olds, said that they believe abortion should be illegal in all or almost every circumstance. That's huge. And the narrative of our movement, how the media portrays us, how they depict us, that's starting to change too. It's young, it's hip, it's joyful. In fact, when Nancy Keenan, the former president of NARAL Pro-Choice America, resigned in 2010, reporters were asking her why she was stepping down from her position. And she cited the annual March for Life. She said she got off her train from New York City and Washington, D.C. She saw all these young people at Union Station and was shocked and dismayed to find out they were all holding anti-choice signs. And she cited her own polling from NARAL, saying that there was a study in the lab of intensity amongst young pro-choice women versus young pro-life women. That they didn't know why they couldn't turn people out, why people weren't excited about killing human beings, about devaluing a whole group of human beings based on their geography. She couldn't understand it. She can hang out with me anytime. I would be happy to educate her. Everyone excited about what's happening in America. I know most of you are like, ugh, America. But even though we have so much momentum, we have so many victories to celebrate in the United States, our mission is far from over. It's far from over. It's Planned Parenthood and the rest of the abortion lobby, they are not going to go quiet. Washington, D.C. Stand up against Trump. You stand up for women. I volunteered Students for Life to co-sponsor the Women's March because we are a pro-woman organization. We're standing up for women every single day. And of course, we were rejected as sponsors of the Women's March. We weren't allowed to be there. Some of my friends have organizations that have the word feminist in the title. They let them, they didn't realize they were pro-life. And then the week before the march, they suddenly, all my friends' organizations, their names disappeared from the website, and then they came out with this, declaration of pro-abortion beliefs. But we won anyway. We won anyway because they never organized a march like we do every year. It was relatively easy. We had two 20-foot banners, abortion betrays women, a bunch of high school girls, and we were able to jump in front of their march and lead it for several blocks. I don't know if you've been watching much of the news media, but with the coverage in the States of the Senate Judiciary Committees, Brett Kavanaugh, they were paying protesters to go and disrupt. They've been disrupting all week. Yesterday, a bunch of Hollywood people that I'm supposed to care about got arrested for protesting Brett Kavanaugh's confirmation. Just 2 weeks ago, I got a fundraising email from Planned Parenthood asking for money so they can start their own Students for Life field program, because there's all of these anti-choice groups on campuses and we got to do something about it. Men and women, and I have to tell this to audiences all across the states, and I was in the Midwest, and Midwesterners they do not like controversy. They don't like it. And my message to them this week was the same way I tell you, it's going to get a whole lot worse. As it heats up, as victory comes closer, it's going to become more contentious. When the 5th pro-life Supreme Court justice is confirmed later tonight, things are going to change. It's going to get more. Look, my country is more divided than ever. And we live in a state of crisis, the deadliest human rights crisis our world has ever known. So I don't come here today with any sense of superiority, of saying, the Americans have this all figured out. We might have a larger pro-life movement because we're just older. Older isn't always better sometimes, these things. Since 1973, my countrymen have largely sat by as more than 60 million preborn baby girls and baby boys have been destroyed. As women have been deceived, as families and legacies have been ended. I live in a nation, my family lives in a nation, surrounded by those wounded, those men and women who were deceived by those who profit from her despair. They're deceived into believing that abortion is their only solution, that they must pay somebody to kill the